what kind of challenges you faced in pandemic years, or what kind of lessons we can learn through this worldwide pandemic situation?
Uh, this pandemic was once in a um lifetime people have faced. So our company has also faced the one of the biggest challenge which our company or every other company has faced is disinformation. People were not aware exactly what is this, how we can counter this issue, how we have to come out of this, what will be the behavior of the consumer, what will be behavior of the market, what will be behavior of the outside agencies. Nothing was this thing. Everybody was working either on the basis of perception or on the basis of some logic which they tried to implement. So disinformation was the biggest challenge, and we had come out very comfortably out of that. One is we try to extract the information on this issue and give this information to all our stakeholders, whether it is an employee, whether it is supplier, whether it is customer, and everybody. Secondly, we all have come together to take a right decision, which is a logical decisions, and then the whole teamwork has worked very well. Whether it is a consumer, whether it is a customer, whether it is a supplier, stakeholder, bankers, uh, agencies, administrative agencies, government agencies. So we worked very closely, and by God grace and with the effort of all my team members, we have come out with the flying colors in this situation. So now I feel after this pandemic, I call it pandemic is over. I call like that. But after this pandemic, two waves are over. Now we are more stronger. We are more, uh, I can say, energetic, and we are more focused, and we are more prepared for the future.
So, what kind of adoptions you learn in the pandemic year? Like most of companies adapted digitalization kind of thing, robotic technology. I think you also adapted robotic technology in packing session. So, how it is working in?
Uh, yes, pandemic has pushed us on few of the things in a more aggressive way. Regarding a digitalization and robotics, we have been using earlier also, but after the pandemic, now the situation has pushed us in a more, I can say, in a more focused way. So now we are trying to work out as much as possible in this area. In the case of robotics or automation, so what we are trying to do, we are trying to eliminate the manual labor wherever it is possible, so that we are not only the productive, but any such pandemic in the future we can take care very well, because our type of industry is a very manpower oriented industry, and very customized and all. So we are trying to work out and understand how the western world is doing it and try to replicate the same. So more funds have been allocated in these lines of robotics, of automation, and digitalization. In case of digitalization, within a pandemic, we have recruited our digitalization officer, a very senior officer. He has been recruited, and his job is to put across all the business of ours in a digital platform. So whether it is interacting of the people, whether it is taking out a data, whether it is just a interaction for the sake of data, so everything we are trying to move to the digitalization. Um, I can say Industry 4 or IoT platforms, which we have been talking earlier and moving at a very slow pace. Now we are on a very fast pace after this pandemic.
Can you give some details about your expansions plan and the new plant at Bongiri Samals?
Uh, In Bongiri, we have already planned to put up 154 ton of cosmetic perfumery and high-end glass uh, plant, which is adjacent to our existing plant. And in this plant, we are going to produce high-end pharmaceutical vials and a very high end of, uh, I can say, cosmetic and perfumery and liquor, which you can say a super premium quality of liquor, super premium quality of even water also. Very recently, we have been talking to few of our customers. They are into the business of water, a premium water, and where we are going to address their packaging solutions and all. Along with the glass manufacturing, we are also putting a lot of money in a decoration, in a value addition of these glass. And in the times to come, we strongly believe that the geopolitical situation is such that the India will be well placed. And once we have a right product at a right time, so we will be able to export to the very premium segments and very premium brands of the fashion, cosmetic, and perfumery industry in the times to come. So we look forward for that.
So how much big is that market? So right now you are 20% market share overall in the container glass segment,
Yeah.
and now you are entering into that perfumes and some other vials for pharmaceuticals. So far, not there in that AG company. So how much big is that one, and what kind of expectations do you have under that industry?
Uh, if you see in a container glass, we can divide in particularly like a commercial glass, what we are producing right now, and then is a cosmetic and perfumery glass. It will not be very right to add up these two volumes together because these two segments are altogether different, and all these two segments they have their own value and own customers. In a commercial glass, we are almost 20% right now, and in the times to come, we will be around 25% of the market share is going to be there. But regarding the cosmetic and perfumery segment, which is consumed in India, I think so. In by started producing, we will be able to grab a share of close to 35 to 40% in the very first year in this segment.
So right now, how the industry situation, sir? I mean, is there any impact of COVID on your revenue point of view and profit point of view? Right now, you are 20% market share. Now you are expecting 25%. Do you think that pandemic situation is over?
No, I cannot say pandemic situation is over, but the all the people they are struggling, and the businesses are struggling and working very hard to come back to the normal. Last year has been a much better year for us. Rather, it has been a year which is ever best year in our history in the time in last year. And now this year also we are expecting a further growth, and the years together we are also expecting the further growth. With this pandemic, what has happened is we were able to intact our supply chain, so we have been able to far much better as compared to our peer group, or we can say our competitors. So that has given us the better market share, though the market volume has gone down, but our share in the market has gone up because we were able to retain our volumes. Second thing is that now people have become very cautious on their quality part, on their hygiene part, and the other aspects. So as such, there are few segments like pharmaceutical and food segment which has grown in this pandemic year. And even in the other segments like a liquor segment and the beer segment, other segments, they have been able to retain or regain their lost numbers. So overall, I can say the glass market and container glass market has grown well. They have pandemic has not shifted or put down their numbers. Rather, in during a time of lockdown, there were few numbers which has come down. Now already they are back to the normal, and we are in a better shape because we have been prove our metal in these bad times.
So right now, how many brands you are handling, and so after adding this perfumes and that vials, pharmaceutical products, so how many companies right now you are handling from brands
See,
point of view?
I can say as on today, we are already supplying and catering and supplying and making them quite satisfied. Almost 130 customers we are supplying, and within 130 customers, there are multiple type of brands we have been doing. And within the brands also, there are some brands where we are single source supplier, means they are 100% dependent on us. So it's there. The more important is we are supplying to the companies like Nestle, Unilever, Pernod Ricco, USL, Kingfisher, Budweiser, Carlsberg, and Mother Recipe. So these are the big names in the industry to whom we are supplying, and they are showing a confidence. So very proudly, I used to say that we are just like a cradle, and we take care of the baby very well, so that the baby should go to the mother in a rightful manner. So we are quite happy, and in the times to come, there will be more companies who want to get associated. So we have a plan to expand organically in the different geographies, and we expect that we are going to put up a new plant in the near future. So once that is there, so our market share from 25% will grow to 30% also.
So, how much you are going to be invest in Bonagiri plant and future? I mean, you mentioned that future you are also planning for another plant. So, how much you are earmarked for that one?
Uh, in the initially we have earmarked 220 crore in Bongiri for the new investment. Then we add 50 crores for the decoration. So total comes out to be 270. But with the steel prices and cement prices have gone up, so this project will be close to around 300 crores of investment. 300 plus crore of investment will be there. This is the part one of the investment in cosmetic and perfumery. I think in the times to come, when more customers will show a confidence in us, so this investment will go further when we are going to add more machines. So this is there. Then we have a plan to expand our furnaces, existing furnaces. There also we are going to add more than 150 crores of investment in these furnaces. And once we put up a plant in geographically, then there will be further investment of 400 crores or maybe 500 crores. More investments will come.
So, what is the export export point of view in revenue and market share?
In exports, we are very low because our target is earlier time we used to export almost 10 to 12% of our production. But last 2 years we have stopped selling much of the quantity in exports. Our export is only 3% or 4% right now. The reason is because domestic market has grown, and it is our responsibility to cater the domestic market first and then cater the export market. Say for example, like in India, there is a huge demand of the vials, pharmaceutical vials. So this is our responsibility also towards the country. First, we produce all the material whatever this country requires, and this country should not import and depend on the imports from some other country for the basic needs. Whatever is left out, we will export it. So right now our volume is low because domestic market is quite good, and we are catering very well to the domestic market.
What kind of environment friendly precautions taking by the AGI?
On sustainability part, we are very strong, and we are working very hard. Say around almost 30% of our electricity consumption comes from the solar energy. Our total solar energy production is almost 18 megawatt, close to 18 megawatt, and we are adding more. Now we want to add biomass production also. In fact, we want to produce the electricity through bio waste and other measures, so that our commitment to sustainability remains very high. We are a zero discharge company, so in this case, we don't have to waste our water, or we don't have to throw our water anywhere in the environment, and we reuse the water and all. Besides that, we are putting a lot of plantation all around, and the other aspects also. CSR, corporate social responsibility, is our very big agenda, and we work very hard on corporate social responsibility. We make sure that whoever is associated with us, for example the nearby villages and all, we try to cater as much as their requirements, like education, like water and all, through our CSR means.
So, final question, my point of view, sir. So, what kind of revenues you are anticipating for next financial year or full year? So, and adding that market share from 25 to 30%, and adding your new plant expansion. So, expanding the capacity also. So, what kind of revenues you are expecting?
See, our glass business is close to 1400 crores of the revenue, and with this new plant which is going to add up, we may add 300 more crores, and maybe the further expansion will add almost 100 crores more. So in the times to come, so we may expect that we will be close to 1800 crores in the glass business, and once further expansion comes in the other part of the geography, this will go on multiplying. We certainly have a plan and commitment to double our revenues and double our growth in the times to come.
So, what is the timeline for that?
So maybe next 4 to 5 years we should be there. It takes a time because each plant, whenever we want to put it, it takes almost 2 years time. So that's the reason.
Thank you, sir, and all the best for your future plans. చూస్తున్నాం. పర్యావరణానికి ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్‌కి దగ్గరగా ఉండేటువంటి ప్రొడక్ట్స్ తయారు చేయడంతో పాటుగా బోత్ వైస్ వర్సా అంటే ఇనార్గానిక్ గ్రోత్ ఓరియెంటెడ్ గాని, ఆర్గానికల్లీ గాని సో ప్లాంట్ ఎక్స్‌పాన్షన్ చేస్తూ ముందుకెళ్ళాలని చెప్పేసి ఏజీఐ టార్గెట్‌గా పెట్టుకుంది. వీడియో జర్నలిస్ట్ ముత్తం శ్రీనివాస్‌తో రాజ్ కుమార్ ఫర్ సాక్షి టీవీ.